Norse mythology presents a cosmology deeply rooted in cyclical time, where the universe is not a linear progression towards an end, but an eternal recurrence of creation, destruction, and renewal. At the heart of this cyclic perception lies Ragnarok, a cataclysmic event that does not signify a final apocalypse, but rather serves as a metaphysical reset. The destruction it brings is followed by a rebirth of the world, marking the transition from one cosmic age to another. Unlike Abrahamic eschatologies that depict an ultimate conclusion to existence, the Norse vision of Ragnarok aligns with the broader Indo-European mythological pattern of cyclical renewal, reflecting an understanding of time as repetitive rather than terminal. This documentary delves into the philosophical, historical, and mythological underpinnings of Norse temporal cycles, exploring how Ragnarok functions not as the end, but as a transformative event that resets the cosmos. Drawing on sources such as the Poetic Edda, Prose Edda, archaeological findings, and comparative Indo-European mythology, we examine how the Norse envisioned time, the metaphysical implications of destruction and rebirth, and the cultural significance of Ragnarok in shaping societal perceptions of fate, destiny, and renewal. Norse mythology, as preserved in the Poetic Edda and Prose Edda, reveals a cosmos governed by cyclical forces. Unlike linear time, where history unfolds in a sequence of unique, non-repeating events, the Norse world exists in a perpetual loop of creation and destruction. This concept is embedded in the structure of Yggdrasil, the world tree, which connects the 9 realms and represents the organic flow of existence. The tree's roots and branches simultaneously decay and regenerate, symbolizing the ever-turning wheel of time. Yggdrasil's connection to temporal cycles can be understood through its interaction with the Norns, Urd, past, Verdandi, present, and Skuld, future, who weave fate at its roots. Their presence underscores the belief that time is an interwoven continuum, where past actions shape future events in an endless recurrence. This cyclical model echoes ancient Indo-European concepts of eternal recurrence, similar to Hindu notions of cosmic cycles, yugas, and the Greek Stoic idea of ekpyrosis, in which the universe is periodically consumed by fire and reborn. Within this framework, Ragnarok emerges not as an isolated catastrophe, but as an integral phase in the cosmic cycle. The Norse viewed destruction as a necessary precursor to renewal, much like the natural rhythms of seasons, where death in winter is followed by the rebirth of life in spring. The destruction wrought by Ragnarok is not final annihilation, but rather a transformation that allows the world to emerge anew, purged of corruption and decay. Ragnarok, as depicted in Völuspá, the prophetic poem of the Poetic Edda, is a grand culmination of cosmic events. It begins with the unraveling of order, marked by the Fimbulwinter, a prolonged and merciless winter lasting 3 years without summer. This period of harsh survival reflects the cyclic nature of Norse myth, paralleling the Hindu Kali Yuga, a time of decline preceding cosmic renewal. The chaotic phase intensifies as societal structures collapse, kin slays kin, and moral order disintegrates. The battle between the gods and their adversaries, including the fire giant Surtur the wolf Fenrir and the Midgard serpent, signifies the cosmic struggle between forces of order, Aesir, and chaos, Jotnar. This confrontation, however, is not merely about destruction. It serves a greater purpose of cosmic purification. Odin falls to Fenrir, Thor slays the Midgard serpent, but perishes from its venom, and Loki and Heimdall destroy each other. These symmetrical deaths indicate a fundamental principle of Norse cosmology, the necessity of destruction to pave the way for rebirth. The fiery devastation brought by Surtur, who engulfs the world in flames, mirrors the Indo-European motif of a purging fire, akin to the concept of the pralaya in Hindu cosmology, where the universe dissolves into primordial waters before being recreated. This destruction acts as a metaphysical reset, eliminating the remnants of a decaying world and allowing a purer existence to emerge. Following the cataclysm of Ragnarok, the world is not left in ruin but is reborn in a new form. The land rises from the sea, verdant and untainted, reminiscent of the fresh beginning found in flood myths across various cultures. from the Mesopotamian epic of Gilgamesh to the biblical story of Noah. This motif of renewal reinforces the idea that Ragnarok is not an absolute end, but part of an unending cycle. Two human survivors, Lif and Lifthrasir, emerge from the World Tree's protection, representing the continuity of human existence. Their survival echoes the archetypal role of primordial survivors in many myths, such as Manu in Hindu mythology or Deucalion and Pyrrha in Greek traditions, signifying the endurance of life beyond cosmic upheaval. The presence of Balder and Hoder, previously slain gods who return after Ragnarok, further emphasizes the concept of a cyclical return, where the past is reconciled with the future. The post-Ragnarok world is marked by a restored harmony, where the gods Vidar and Vali take their place as the new divine rulers, guiding existence toward another cycle of prosperity. This transition underscores the underlying Norse belief that Ragnarok is not a singular apocalyptic finale, but an eternal pattern of renewal. The Norse belief in temporal cycles is not merely mythological, but finds evidence in archaeological and cultural expressions. The burial practices of the Viking Age suggest an understanding of death as a passage rather than an end. Ship burials, such as those found at Oseberg and Gokstad, reflect the notion of journeying beyond death, indicating a belief in continual existence. Runestones and inscriptions frequently reference fate and the concept of returning warriors, reinforcing the idea that life and death are parts of a greater loop. The repeated depictions of Ragnarok in Norse art, such as the Gosforth Cross in England, which blends Christian and Norse eschatological themes, demonstrate how deeply ingrained this cyclical worldview was in the Viking consciousness. Comparative mythology further solidifies this perspective. The Eddic descriptions of Ragnarok bear resemblance to the Slavic myth of the firebird, which burns and regenerates in an endless cycle, as well as the Zoroastrian vision of cosmic renewal following a great battle. The parallels between Norse, Hindu, and other Indo-European traditions suggest a shared ancestral understanding of time as an eternal cycle rather than a linear progression. The concept of Ragnarok as a metaphysical reset carries profound philosophical implications. It challenges the notion of linear historical progress, suggesting instead that all existence is bound to cycles of creation and destruction. This perspective aligns with Friedrich Nietzsche's theory of eternal recurrence, which proposes that all events will repeat infinitely, emphasizing the acceptance of fate and the embrace of renewal. The Norse view of time fosters a resilience-oriented philosophy, where destruction is not feared but accepted as a necessary transformation. The notion that even the gods succumb to fate underscores the inevitability of cyclical renewal, a concept mirrored in Stoic thought, which emphasizes accepting the natural order of the universe. This cyclical framework also influences contemporary interpretations of history and civilization. The idea that societies rise, collapse, and rebuild resonates with historical patterns observed in the decline and resurgence of empires. The Norse cyclical model offers a compelling counter-narrative to the modern perception of linear progress, urging a reconsideration of how destruction and renewal shape human existence. Ragnarok, far from being an apocalyptic conclusion, serves as a metaphysical reset within the Norse cyclical model of time. Its destruction is not an end, but a necessary transition, clearing the old to make way for the new. This vision aligns with broader Indo-European mythological traditions, reinforcing the idea that time is an unending cycle of creation, decline, and renewal. Through mythological texts, archaeological findings, and comparative analysis, it becomes evident that the Norse viewed existence as an eternal recurrence. The implications of this perspective challenge conventional notions of progress and finality, offering a philosophy where destruction is an essential precursor to rebirth. Ragnarok, in its deepest essence, is not a story of annihilation but of transformation, reminding humanity that in every ending, there lies the seed of a new beginning.